Howdy. Let's first talk about how hurricanes are formed, then we will talk about Hurricane Harvey. Now, the sun warms the ocean water to about 80 degrees, a little bit north of the equator, about right here. Then the ocean water evaporates, caused by the heat from the sun. The evaporating water forms a cloud of warm, moist air that moves upward. So get some more. As the warm, moist air rises, more air rushes in to replace it. Eventually, a large mass of warm, moist air with rain clouds is formed over the ocean. The warm air expands and becomes less and less dense and lighter, and forms an area of low pressure. And this is actually called a tropical low. And so, in essence, all a tropical low is, it's supposed to be lightning. It's basically a very powerful thunderstorm. Now, more warm, moist air rushes in from the ocean surface, and the air begins to spin because of the Coriolis effect. The air goes faster and faster as it spirals inwards. And so these storms are going to eventually move, and because of the Earth's rotation, what's going to end up happening is these storms will eventually start to spin and create a tropical depression. The whole storm is now spinning like a top, and it's carried across the ocean by the wind. As it moves across the warm ocean waters, it continues to get stronger and stronger, becoming a tropical storm, until eventually it becomes a hurricane. There are 5 categories of hurricanes based on the inner sustained wind speed. A Category 1 hurricane is about 74 to 95 miles per hour, and it goes all the way up to a Category 5 hurricane, which is when it reaches over 157 miles per hour. Now, the final step of the life of a hurricane is when it hits land. It is going to bring a heavy amount of rain, thunder, and lightning, as well as a large wave called a storm surge, and powerful wind gusts that can reach nearly 200 miles per hour. Now, that being said, because it's over land, the storm doesn't have that warm water fuel anymore to generate power and begins to dissipate. It'll eventually drop back down to a tropical storm, then into a regular thunderstorm, to, once it runs out of fuel, to just a whole bunch of cloud cover, and this process can take upwards of 9 days. Now let's talk specifically about Hurricane Harvey. So Hurricane Harvey started as a low just south of the Barbados and then turned into a tropical storm whenever the inner wind speeds reach a sustained speed of 40 miles per hour. And then as it traveled, it actually dropped back down to a tropical depression or tropical low. It's the same thing. Now, as it moved across, it went over the boot of Mexico, and after it went over the boot of Mexico, it went back into a tropical storm, and then as of Thursday morning, turned into a Category 1 hurricane, reaching inner wind speeds, sustained speeds of 80 miles per hour. Now, taking a look at this map, in red what we have is, in red this is your hurricane warnings, colored in orange is going to be your tropical storm warnings, in green is going to be your tropical storm watch, and in blue just expect a lot of rainfall. Now please don't wait for the crowds to leave the supermarket to go out and get supplies and to go out right before it hits. Please stock up on water and easy to make food in case the electricity goes out. Don't be stupid and travel around while the hurricane makes landfall. The storm surges, that large wave, is the most dangerous part. It actually causes the most fatalities. So be prepared this weekend and stay safe.